He is a hardcore legend. He is Hardcore Holly, Bob Holly. There we go. I'm glad you have your. Is that a purse?
You know how society is today.
What do you have in there? What do you need?
I got my passport in there, I got money in there, I've got my travel documents, things like that. I got a Surefire flashlight, you know, survival kind of deal. Actually, I carry a... Oh, shit!
For the listening audience, Bob Holly has a knife on stage.
It's a shark.
Wow. You were on stage talking about how you like being in the mountains and you're like a wilderness man. Did you ever try to pitch that as like your character or anything?
No.
No.
I wouldn't do that because the silly gimmick they gave me when I first got there, that I didn't know where that would probably go, and I didn't want to find out.
The NASCAR gimmick.
Yeah.
You were hoping you would drive the NASCAR into the mountain?
No, I didn't. I wasn't comfortable with that gimmick to begin with. Yeah, I drive race cars and do that kind of thing, but when my contract came, I was just in total shock. You know, and it was like, okay, it doesn't matter, I'll just deal with it, get my foot in the door, because it's like, who's going to tell them no? If that's your goal in life, and they send you a contract, you know, and they put a goofy name on there, you're not going to tell them no. You know, and back then too, in their defense, everything was like a cartoon character gimmick anyway, so, I mean, it's kind of fit, sort of.
Yeah, but you don't see like being like a wilderness man? It could be like very cartoon. Has there ever been a wilderness man of any some sort, JB?
Wow.
Skinner,
man.
Skinner was kind of
But that was kind of like wilderness.
a mountain man.
Yeah.
There was Man Mountain Rock.
Oh,
Yeah, but it was a mountain man. Mountain man, you think was a big, huge guy with a big beard and everything. And I don't have hair. I used to, but I don't anymore. But that's what you would think is a mountain man.
Yeah. Stan Hansen from
He's more of a cowboy.
Was there ever a character that like, once you got comfortable within the system that you tried to pitch that was kind of shut down?
Not really, because I was still trying to find myself. I was trying to figure out who I was, because I was still lost. I didn't, because I was like, they always say you need to be comfortable with whatever character you're portraying, because you're not going to put 100% into it. And I definitely didn't put 100% into it because I wasn't comfortable, and I tried to force it, and it just didn't work. And so that's when I went to Vince and asked him, hey, can we change it? This has got to change because I'm not comfortable. And he was really cool because I walked in his office, and I thought I was going to walk out without a job. And so I walked in and said, hey, Vince, I said, thank you for giving me a job. Thank you, I really appreciate it. But this Sparky Plug character, I said, the name's got to change. And he just sat there for a second, as he always does. Because when you talk to Vince, a lot of people make the mistake of they just keep talking and talking and talking because Vince doesn't say anything. What you got to do is you got to stop, take a break, and then he speaks. And I knew that. And so I stopped and I let him talk, and all he said is, what do you want to change it to? And I said, how about Bob Holly for now? And he goes, Bob Holly it is. And he said, anything else? I was like, no, that's it. And I walked out the door, I was like, what happened? I mean, it was just like, I still had a job, so I was like, okay.
I thought you were going to say he changed his name to Bob Holly for now.
But that's where that's.
But then you were bombastic, man.
Yeah, I was sitting at home because, back then there was so much talent on the roster. We had an A and a B tour. And so there wasn't enough spots on the card for everybody. So obviously they weren't doing anything with me, so I was sitting at home. Well, while I was sitting at home, I was still getting paid by WWE. So a buddy of mine, he owns a bat shop, so he needed a welder, so I started working for him. And I actually didn't want to. He called me up and said, hey, I need a welder. You want to come down here and take the weld test? And I was like, no. I said, I'm fine. He goes, I'll be there to pick you up in about 30 minutes. And What part of no he didn't get, I don't know. But anyway, he came and got me, and I went and took the welding test and everything. So I started working for him, which I was fine, you know, because I was making good money welding because I'm a pipe welder. And so, and then Bruce Pritchard called me and said, hey, we got this idea that we want to recreate the Midnight Express. And I'm like, oh God, here we go. And so it was with Jim Cornette and everything. So I flew up to Stanford, and me and Bart got in the ring and worked with some guys to try to get our chemistry right and everything, and it just didn't feel right. So then they started putting us on TV and house shows, and it still didn't work. I mean, no disrespect, but I love Jimmy to death, but I knew it wasn't going to work. But Jimmy was trying to recreate the past, and you cannot duplicate a great tag team, and that's what they were trying to get out of us from you know, Dennis and Bobby. And so obviously the wheels fell off that wagon. And so then next thing you know, I wasn't really doing much, and then Al Snow came up with the Job Squad. And so they ended up sticking me in that, which I was fine with that, you know, because, you know, I always got along great with Al, Lumini, and Scorpio, and all them guys. And so we started doing that deal. And then the whole hardcore thing came along. And I was in the ring as Bob Holly during a hardcore match, and Vince came over the headset and told the guys at the desk that he's now Hardcore Holly, and so that's how all that became.
It's nice how like something like that, like you have the time for it to organically, like you were given the chance, like going through this period until finally it's like, oh, there it is.
Right.
Hardcore Holly.
And see, a lot of guys don't get that opportunity. I was very lucky because up until that point, I was completely confused and trying to figure out where do I fit here. And so, honestly, if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't have been with WWE as long as I was. After the whole Midnight Express thing, that probably would have finished me off right there, and I'd have been done after a few years.
You would have had a sweet WCW run, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, so that's how that evolved, and I was very grateful for it, you know, because I've always been a physical kind of person all my life, and I've always liked, you know, physicality of a lot of sports and stuff like that, and so I just felt like it just was right up my alley, and I felt at home in the ring anytime we did the hardcore stuff.
Bob, where are you at on the internet?
I am at the Bob Holly on Twitter. I don't have Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. I just got Twitter, and
you got a book?
I got a book, as most of you probably know.
Great book. Absolutely great book.
Oh, so you read it?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I don't bite my tongue or anything. I didn't have an agenda. I didn't, you know, it wasn't one of those kind of books where you go out there and just bury somebody. It wasn't like that. You know, I just told how I felt about things, and, you know, I was just pretty basically honest, and so I didn't care. I didn't, you know, it was one of those type of books where, okay, if I get a job, fine. If I don't care. You know, I'm perfectly happy doing what I'm doing. Because by no means do I care to go back to WWE. I had my time, I did my run, that's great and all, but it's just not for me anymore, because when you're with WWE, it's like you're committed 24/7. It's WWE first and then family. And it's like, I don't want that anymore, you know, so I'm happy doing what I'm doing, because this gives me an opportunity to meet you guys. You guys get to know me instead of the character Hardcore Holly, because Hardcore Holly gets such a bad rap most of the time, and because with WWE, it's like if you get to do a meet and greet, stuff like that, it's like you come in, hi, how you doing, take a picture, and boom, you're gone. You don't really get to sit there and talk to the talent. This way, doing this stuff, I get to enjoy talking to you guys, and you guys get to know me and everything, and it's my way to say thank you to you all for being such great fans also. So
Thank you. Bob Holly.